Okay, that's enough. Okay, sorry. That I couldn't resist doing. Um, running joke as always. Yeah, I couldn't resist doing that. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Battle of the Beasts All Generation episode number 105. I'm Adam, and today we got two more beasts fighting out for a spot in round three. We already know what one of them is, considering how this video started. So, with that, let's introduce them. Representing Series 8, the last beast I believe left to participate in this round from Series 8, the killer of Naga the Sea Monster. Back in round 1, we have Koron, Jaws of Death, and his opponents. The symbol of Scotland, the representative of Series 15, and also, I think, the last beast standing from Series 15. Well done, Quagos. Well done, Zerek. You guys are great. You died in round 1 again. Enough of these guys. Right, anyway. The Pride of Scotland. The killer of Noctilla, the Death Owl, back in round 1. And maybe a bit of a personal bias and favoritism towards him for a certain liking I have to this creature. We have Plexor, the Raging Reptile. So, we have what is Koron versus Plexor. An interesting matchup, actually, if you ask me. Because, I mean, it's two beasts which I like. One is my favourite from Series 15. One is a very close second to my favourite in Series 8. But also Lucas's favourite in Series 8, I believe. Yes, I think that's right. Because he's not a big fan of the other beasts. So, yeah. Plexor versus Koron. Actually, not that bad. I like to say this is going to be an interesting fight. I hope it is. I just don't know how it's going to go. I know who I'd like to win, but I wouldn't be upset if the other one wins either. So, yeah, let's go with that. Anyway, let's get to the stats. Koron Jaws of Death. This beast is well named. Hidden behind his back lips are teeth like daggers. Koron's muscular body is like a tiger's, and claws as sharp as the deadliest blade would tear your head from your shoulders. Most terrifying of all, he has a scorpion's tail that can dart forward as fast as a whip to attack his victims. Fun fact, Koron's fangs drip a burning spittle that nearly destroyed Tom's shield. Powers and abilities: acidic fangs, natural weaponry, and enhanced durability. No immunity to his tail is a weakness. Oops. And limited potency of acid. So in other words, it can't dissolve through wood. That is from the tree of bean. So that kind of sucks for Koron, but also kind of good for Koron, because I don't think there's any beast that actually has wood from the tree of bean just in their back pocket. There isn't any that could possibly have that. Going on to Plexor the Raging Reptile. Fishing communities in the Kingdom of Tangala tell scary stories about the legendary cursed fish, whose capture brought rains to help farmers. But no one actually believes the story. Even though they hold an annual festival in which they capture a model version of the creature, they should not be so careless, for beneath the waters lurks Plexor, a monstrous reptile whose gaping mouth can swallow whole boats and unlucky fishfolk. Fun fact, Plexor's glowing green eye is actually one of the treasures of Tangala. I forgot to do the stats for Koron, didn't I? Okay, hold on. Let's, brief intermission. Okay, anyway. So, stats for Koron. Sorry. Age 389, power 270, magic level 167, fright factor 94, size 119. Okay, now we're done for the stats of Koron. As for Plexor, 253 for age, power is 195, magic level 201, fright factor 85, and size 291. Abilities is enhanced strength, enhanced reactions, natural weaponry, scales, resistant to harpoon strikes, underwater breathing, and speed swimming. Really? Whoa. Weaknesses, land travel incapability, and gill blockage. Plexor's skills can be blocked off, meaning he'll need to go to the surface for air. He can also breathe in out. He can also breathe for air. So yeah, Koron and Plexor. I know exactly what battlefield we're gonna have, and say it with me because it's actually my go-to battlefield nowadays. It is the Clock Arena from the Hunger Games Catching Fire. And honestly, it's a good arena, so why are we gonna complain about it? Okay, anyway, close your eyes, let me weave you a tale of how one beast destroys another. As the chamber doors open, Koron strides right out into the centre of the arena, looking around for his opponent, but notices all the water. So, for as clever of a beast Koron is, he knows that his opponent isn't on land. So, he is looking towards the water, trying to see any unnatural movements. Meanwhile, Plexor makes his way out of the chamber, the water chamber, and just swims around, trying to cause, as stealthily as possible, making a low moaning sound, almost like trying to set an uneasy feeling on his opponent. Koron sees some unnatural movement of water along one of the spokes. He makes his way out, looks above the edge into the water, can't seem to find anything. Almost like what he's looking for isn't there anymore. Plexor has seen this though, and makes another loop around the arena and jumps up to catch Koron off guard, going right through the stone spokes of where Koron was standing. Koron, caught off guard, leaps to safety on another nearby spoke and sees the monstrosity in front of him. Essentially a Plesiosaurus. Koron is shocked at how big this beast is, but Koron doesn't show a twinge of fear at all. Plexor roars in Koron's face. Koron only roars back, showing that he's not scared to fight at all. The spectators are cheering at this, knowing this is going to be a very interesting fight. And I agree, it might be interesting. Koron immediately pounces towards Plexor and is ready to dig his claws into Plexor's scales. Plexor swishes his head and just batters it into Koron's side, knocking Koron across the battlefield, landing into the water. Koron's able to get back up and make his way onto another spoke, only to see Plexor coming right towards him, smashing straight through each spoke that he goes to get close to Koron. Koron quickly gets up and makes a beeline straight for the center of the arena. As he does this, you can see that all the spokes around him has been shattered, leaving him stranded in the middle of the arena. Plexor rises up from the watery depths below and gives an almost kind of mocking laugh towards Koron. Koron is enraged by this and goes to charge towards Plexor, charging up, ready to jump towards Plexor. Plexor readies his head again to go swinging, but Koron stops right before he was going to jump and sees Plexor just swing his head to hit nothing. That's when Koron lifts up his tail and goes to sting at Plexor on his neck. And as Koron goes to do that, it just seems to bounce right off. His stinger seems to bounce right off of Plexor. Koron, confused by this, is just thinking, what's happened? Plexor gives a kind of mocking laugh, thinking, you thought it was going to be that easy, did you? Welcome to hell. I am your tour guide. Let's go down, shall we? He Plexor dives back under the water, circles around the island multiple times, jumps up, showing his entire body, and is about to land directly on the island. Koron looks up in fear, knowing that he can't go to another island, so he jumps off the island into the water. As he does that, Plexor smashes into the island, shattering it to pieces. And as Plexor promised, he grabs Koron by the tail, careful not to get stung on the inside of him from the stinger, and drags Koron down to the depths below. Whilst Koron's trying to fight back to get back up, it's not working. Plexor has the advantage down in the water. Koron accepts this fate, turns round, and goes to slash at Plexor, but his scale seems to be too thick to go through, for his claws to go through. He tries biting, but it's not working at all. He then decides that he needs to be more precise with where he attacks. He then uses his claws and slashes at Plexor's eye. Plexor roars in pain, letting Koron go. Koron tries to make his getaway now, but whilst Plexor is writhing around in agony, he swings his entire body around, just kind of slapping Koron aside. Koron gets caught off guard and has realised something. He's out of air. Koron's struggling to breathe, so he tries to get up as quick as he can. By the time Plexor regains himself, he sees Koron already making his way up. He charges up towards Koron and goes to bite down on him again, this time on his body. Koron roars in pain, letting out any excess air he had left in him, as Plexor's gigantic teeth just clamped on Koron's body. He then pulls Koron back down to the watery depths below, and Plexor doesn't continue to increase his force with his bite. He just stays there, just staring at Koron, whilst Koron is struggling for air. Almost like Plexor is intending to let Koron die out of breath. Almost like so Koron can drown. Koron realizes this, and realizing he can't do anything because his stinger doesn't do anything to Plexor, and he can't get his claws to scratch Plexor, he can't bite Plexor. Koron has come to terms that he's going to die. So to not show any fear, he just stares right back into Plexor's eyes. Koron's last thought before fading out of consciousness forever was, someone's going to get him for this. It might not be next round, but someone will. And in that moment, Koron's life disappears from him. Plexor then goes back up to the surface with Koron's corpse, shows it off to the spectators, swings his neck around, and chucks Koron's corpse right over the arena wall, never to be seen again. Plexor roars in victory and makes his way back to his chamber, ready for round 3. So with that, Plexor's won, Koron's lost. If you think Koron should have won, please in comments below what you think of that. How are my words final? And Plexor's moving on to the next round. Right. Yeah. Honestly, Koron was never going to win this fight. I said I wouldn't mind which one would win. That's true. I said this could be an interesting fight. That's true. Did I say it was a landslide fight, though? No, I didn't. Honestly, I think this matchup was quite obvious. And there could have been a bit more tenseness from it. What made this fight more of a landslide victory for Plexor was his ability of his scales being able to resist harpoons. Now, I know Koron doesn't have harpoons, but he has a stinger. Now, if you go and sting someone with a scorpion's tail, or you shoot someone with a harpoon, what's more powerful? The harpoon. So the scorpion sting was never going to get through Plexor's scales. I was able to let Koron do some damage to him, but, I mean, pain is temporary. Okay, wrong thing to say. I mean, like, it's only a scratch to the eye. And Plexor still has another one, so not exactly going to help him much. He was able to get away, but not for long. Koron's claws and teeth weren't going to do anything against the scales either. Honestly, Plexor was going to win. And that ability about his scales just made it even more obvious he was going to win. So, yeah. But with that being said, that is the battle. I hope you enjoyed. That's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe, press the notification button down in the corner below, and I'll see you next time.